Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be playing some more Golgari, but we're going to be approaching a little bit differently here. This is a list that plays 6th in a qualifying challenge on MTGO, which is pretty high bar because qualifiers are pretty high up there in terms of MTGO concerns. So we're going to play this. The main difference in this list that we've seen in the other lists that I've played is Gliss is kind of stacked back into a 3 of, and Archfiend of the Dross is being slammed in as a 4 of, a card that we don't typically see played in our best of 1 meta. But again, this was constructed for best of 3 in mind, so obviously certain things would change in best of 1, but I'd like to take the list as it was in the qualifier or in the challenge and play it straight up in best of 1 and see if it kind of competes. And then maybe if we like the way the list goes, we kind of modify it to what we want, and maybe it works better than things have in the past. So other than that, we're just going to go ahead and hop into the games. I hope you all enjoying them. And if you do enjoy my content, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Let's just get out there and game. Who goes first? Sure. They maul. We'll keep. We have a cycle if needed. We have, or just played as a 3-2 if needed. Blue black. Is it tempo? Never know. Could be esper. They mauled, so I'm gonna play threats. We're already up on cards, so it is esper. Sure. Play this. Combat. Assume we're getting a creature flashed in at some point here. Could be a counter spell, I suppose, but Malcolm. Removal. Get lost. Sure. Get lost can make my Mosswood Dread Knight huge. More hesitation. More wait. The Gix. I guess, dog. Seems like an overreaction, but sure. Yeah. They pick. The Gix. Activate a map. Why not here? Look at that. We even drew a card. Oh, nice. The end make you draw if you have them in hand. Let's swamp. Let's bat. You want to end my Gix as well? You can. It's the only copy I play. Look. Might remove the bat. That's a spell that they would argue that I'm going to take, but sure. Lockdown, Emperor that does really nothing right now. Sure. I'll play Preacher. Attacked. If they do find a white source, so be it. We have plenty of ways to deal with the Emperor. Sure. The second white source. The combat. Double attack. Drawing a card regardless. I just play a basic instead of playing my Restless Fortress. I think I did. Or like another land. I sure did, didn't I? Look at me go. Captivating. We'll target here. Might be like, why? But because I want to. Honest. Also, if they temporary lockdown, which takes nothing, it'll take the map token. I mean, do you think I'm waiting for the Shieldred? You're insane. Or attacking with the Shieldred, you're insane. Could have activated Gix, but I think it's funnier. You egged on him.
Feel the energy of battle.
It's gotta be Gix, right? Because Gix generates too much value.
This is get for hurting my people.
Honk. I have good cards in there. I have glisters in there. FD's like good time and any. Here's that one. Yep. Gonna make a 1/1. You got a plus. Gotta get lost for my virtue, maybe. No? Okay. And it's like fine. And significantly worse. To an extent, of course, because like Archfiend's pretty hard for them to remove, but it's the idea of surviving till then. Cut down, great find. Just kind of pass here. Cut down this Charming Scoundrel if needed, but I'd rather deal with a Godric or blow up this land. That's fantastic. Find really good value off our cut down, because cut down can remove that, but go for the throat cannot because it's actually an artifact creature. So we play second swamp and then we pass again. On one hand, I want to play Shieldred first, but I think our life total is kind of healthy enough that we're probably not forced to do it. I didn't figure they would Monster Rage it, but sometimes they do just because they don't make the Wicked Rule token fall off regardless. We'll take one and then they can pump out more damage. But for us immediately, let's play a 6/6. That when we remove their creatures, we do a lot of damage. Nothing. I won't win this way, big dog. Sure. Let's play the Restless Cottage because it can come up and attack for a ton later. Attack. Then we play Shieldred. Then we can Gix command if they play any threats. 4 mana, just Pat. What is your hand? Played 1 spell. Uh-huh. Do you think, like, they can outpace this? Like, hope we just die to this? Like, I don't... Is that arguably the slowest mono red hand I think I've ever seen? This is all they did. And they drew, like, I don't think they kept, like, a 4 land hand. I think with mono red, you mulligan that, but... Yes. My opponent goes first, and they kept 7. Ew. And land. Oh boy. I think we have removal for that. Can't wait for them to bring it back right now. Play it. Play it. Oh no. The flicker one. I mean, realistically, let's just use our sorcery speed removal. Why we haven't. Instead of our instant speed removal. Like to go for the throat. It's going to be a little bit more valuable here. That sucks. That sucks a lot, actually. Nice 6. Do this. They're probably going to get the Altus Archangel. Sucks. Sucks a lot, actually. This is all bad. This is all bad. And will they ult it immediately, though? Who knows? I doubt it, right? Can't see them just, like, firing off the ult immediately. Get them to block Shieldred. So at least thin the herd a little bit and get a lifelinker off the battlefield for whenever they bring back a good creature. Play a bat. It's a 4/4. Kind of stops the Paragon. They can play one creature a turn here, which will be Voice. Why would it not be? They keep plussing. This does what? Returns to the battlefield under its own control at the beginning of the next end step. They're doing that to get the, like, kind of like that finality counter off of it, it seems. Sure. Seems like a good draw. Better than bad, that's for sure. This. You discard a card, which they don't really lose out on a lot of the value from because it's Sarah's Paragon, although that's an Archangel. Okay, good double block there. Huh? Yeah. Voice plus Flipper. What are you flickering here? Nothing. Flossing. Not a fan. Get that out of the way. Great. Oh, you know what we get to do that's really cool? That forces them to kind of activate this. Is it 2 or less? It's 3. We have nothing, so we make it something. Us. Hey, we're at 34. That's wild. Block. Block. A block. Sure. We can get some of this stuff out of the way. What do I have? Weirdly enough, like, Gliss is actually a really solid card here. I mean, sure. What does this card say? Thoughts? When it enters battlefield, except on one target creature or artifact. Oh, it's you control. Okay, never mind. For some reason, I thought that was able to just flicker like a. I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to draw attention to it, to be honest. I thought you were able to flicker your opponent's stuff and force it to come back on end step as well, which arguably would make the card really overpowered. Opponent goes first, have a 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, and 4 lands. Sure. Yeah. I mean, Archfiend should be fine here. Ooh. A miss? I mean, yeah, we're playing the Dread Knight. We'll trade it off with about anything. I know it'll get exiled if we block this Kimono, but I'm willing to do that. Oh, they juked me. They gave it haste, but didn't do anything. Wow. Crazy. Play here. Back here. I guess I probably could have held it back in case they find removal for Glissa, but Glissa having first strike is going to be pretty devastating. But most of them... Phyrexian? Phyrexian? What do they have that's a Phyrexian? Is that a mistake? Like, just Phyrexian is just one of the other creature types they have? Because they play like the 2-drop guy. Like, that would put Phyrexian in the tag. What a weird situation. Oh, I mean, that works, I suppose. Counter there. Gix is fine. One hand we can play Shielded, but I kind of want to play the Archfiend, kind of forcing awkward blocks, awkward things to happen. Back with this. I guess I lose to a Tyvar stand there. Give it haste. You don't have a counter. You decide. Yeah. This is getting weirder and weirder as we move on here. So let's play Shielded. This is almost out of counters, by the way, which would be nice. He's good. Most likely, Shielded will probably block big Kamano. Kind of just on the plan of thinning out the herd here. Will you do that? You kind of have to, right? That's unplayable this turn. Oh, let's go. Yeah, we'll block here. Take their biggest creature off the board. Now Mosswood trades with everything. Like, straight up just trades with everything. Play Gix. This is also done now. I'm gonna attack. Sure. I'm just looking to draw cards regardless. I know this gets exiled, but okay. I mean, that's a card I can draw regardless. That's a little bit weird. We're one turn away from activating this as well. We'll see. Get rid of a forest. Only bad cards, please. Modified creature. I mean, I'm just letting the 4 hit. How's this read? Trash card, exile of your opponent's library. You may play lands, cast spells from among them this way. Yeah, so we're gonna play Swamp. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna choose 2. Target you as my opponent. Trample backup. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or battle, look at that many cards. I was trying to read your cards, sir. Please come back. Either way, Gix gets there, and that's good enough for me. My opponent goes first again. Our hand's a little slow. Sure, we just hope not to. Oh no, I should have taken the hit. We're gonna get overran, huh? Sure. See what happens. Well, kill me. No double monster rage. Wow. Let me go. We have to play the Glissa. It's the only thing that can kind of combat what's happening. But we can fight the Ruiner. If it gets raised, it'll also have first strike, and they'll just trade off. But looks like they're kind of flooding a little bit. Maybe they kept like kind of a worst hand as well. Very possible. Tyvar stands also an option, but now it won't live. Oh, sorcery speed monstrous rage. Maybe I better do it. I mean, of course we have to do this. Go forward damage, get it off the board if they'd like, but I mean, I think that's a logical play from our end here. Now we play Shieldred and hope it's just enough to solidify this game. And we'll probably play Archfiend just because they're so large on their own. That makes it kind of tough. Okay, that was... I mean, can't keep that hand. We have literally nothing going on. We can keep this. I'm probably letting Glissa go. Try to use the Gix to draw cards out to Mosswood and then play into Shieldred. I guess you could argue maybe we throw Shieldred away because Shieldred's the only card not playable here. Yeah. I mean, I think with that kind of reasoning, I think we have to. We could have played Swamp and Namirix and played the Dread Knight and done it that way, but 12 is tough. But like I said, I'm going to go for the Gix plan, and having Trample here is really nice. Enchantments, you can argue we play Glissa, and it is. We might need to draw. Yes. What is the hesitation here? Please pass your turn. Okay. Now, Gix is like guaranteed to draw 2 cards, but is it not just to play Glissa and then lose it to an ossification? That feels good. Let's play Gix instead. Attack. Take the 3. Makes sense. Now we'll draw a card. So we have to. Ooh, Virtue coming kind of late, I think. Maybe late. Yeah. You give it protection? Attack me? No? Okay. Out of here. This is the card we have to remove. Relv leaves too much up to chance. Virtue's also a great draw because go for the thirds of dead draw here. Giving Calyx that protection that doesn't work. I mean, I'm attacking. I need to draw cards in this matchup. I guess not protection is not the word I was looking for, but big action. Great. Do we care to go? Do we care to wait? No, not really. We'll just see. I guess we should care, right? Yeah, I thought about waiting, but I think them putting more counters on the Naturalist leads to some troublesome lines, so I don't really want to do that. Oh, they pass. That's wild. I Archfiend here? I think I attack first. If something at flash speed, then sure. I don't know what it would be. I think Seal of Existence it and Ganjo. Sure. We'll take that. They block. I feel like they're in desperate mode. They don't. Okay. Let's... I haven't seen the ossification yet, so go for the big spell. I have 1 basic. Second Naturalist is fine. Weaver is fine. It's just full commitment of hand now. Second Weaver. Okay, full commitment here. Yeah, that makes sense. But also leaves you vulnerable to some stuff. Eric's. Lissa. At. It. And now have some troublesome stuff. You can keep attacking if they want with the Skrell. But then they have a Glissa kind of attacking. Nice. This doesn't have anything on it, right? Oh, they can... This is an enchantment, so if they activate Square Elves to target a thing to give it protection, they can't do it twice. Black, it's a mistake. If it's green, it's fine. Ooh, do go black. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take this free block and allow me to cycle and draw more cards. The only thing is, will I lose my Archfiend at some point here? Kind of feels that way. Not finding like removal. Back this way. Lethal, so they have to block. Then they'll lose more life because of Archfiend. Down to 1. Play Moss. Do the same block if needed. Another land. That's tough. The way the cookie be crumbling. Now we have Preacher that can block. Kill something if Skrelv isn't able to hold up. Again, Weaver can't copy it to make him swing 7. Okay. Doing the smaller one to hold the bigger one back. Yeah, I guess. Makes more sense. This way. Oh, oopsie. Didn't mean to keep that bat in terms of blocking, but whatever. Yeah, so now 2 creatures will die. They'll take 4. They'll gain 4 back, gain 3, and then Archfiend in the air will be enough. Where they activate Brushland. Seems nuts. I mean, I was just going straight to attackers. I wasn't going to make you wait. All right, we get to go first. Sure. We'll lead off with the Restless Cottage, and the reason why is because if we wanted to play Land War Waste to cut down something on turn 1, most likely the thing that has haste on turn 1 is going to deal the 1 damage regardless. So, like, we would just trade it off to remove it there. It'd be more of a tempo play, but... Go for the Throat's annoying. This is also annoying. Schooner is pretty bad. It's an artifact, so we can't really necessarily deal with it. Go for the Throat doesn't do it. Guess we just take their removal. Then we just play our Glissa and try to get value off of it. Although they'll then be able to play that. Play Glissa. Attack. Go for the Throat always finds a tough spot whenever Schooner's live and active. The Glissa will get 1 attack in, so that'll be sweet. Unless they drew something, but then we have 2 removal spells for it. But if they drew a cut down, they can remove our bat and then go for the Throat or Glissa, which is all bad. Yeah, would you like to crew and attack me? No? Okay. Second Schooner on top. Hey, Bennett. They're confident in their Schooner now. Move this. That out of the way. Right. I don't care if you think you're stopping Glissa. If you block Glissa, I'd be surprised. That's why I was like, I don't think it matters regardless. We'll definitely draw. Now we can save the Takenuma here. Pass. But assume we're going to see this guy get flashed in eventually. Might just happen now. Sure. Who's targeting? Can't go for the Throat, the Schooner anyway. Do we want to activate Takenuma or to play it as a land? I think playing it as a land makes more sense. See if they mess up and don't crew. Sometimes people do. They'll just skip past. They don't. Really, sometimes in paper, you can actually get people with that by just going like, remove it. And they were like, yep. But they don't get the explore value, which is equally as important over anything else. Is there anything in there that we care about? Not really. I think we just play Shieldred and just keep playing threats that are like worse than this Cavern Bat. But at some point, you think they would want to remove the Cavern Bat so they get their go for the throw back? They think they're sneaky. But little do they know, I'm a slippery boy as well. It's double attack here. Yep. I don't think it's an artifact land. I just didn't want to highlight it. That out of the way. We hit for a ton. They could have crewed up their schooner if they feel desperate enough, but they don't. Listen. Alright, opponent. You're up. Putting the pressure on. And we're doing it quite a lot. And next turn, I don't even have to attack with the Shieldred. Yeah. I don't know what they would have that would answer everything in play. I'd argue like a Gix command's good enough. But that removes the bat and then the Shieldred. But then we have a Glissa left over. They won't have a way to crew this. And then we will bring up the Restless Cottage along with Glissa and attack for lethal that way. There's a lot. It's too much to handle. So, take it. Okay, so here is the Golgari deck list that, again, played 6th in the qualifier. That's obviously in the title. And I'm not necessarily that big of a fan of it. This really is just a mono black deck overall. It's just like kind of splashing green, where like maybe in the side they get a little bit more. Yeah, Terra Sunder and Frill back. Kind of the typical sideboard additions that green will give. I don't know. It was weird. And it might be because I've played so much best of 1 with the other versions of the deck. And again, this is obviously built for best of 3. So things are going to be slightly different when you play best of 3 in comparison to best of 1. Of course, but I wanted to take the exact qualifier list. For example, there's no Lilianas, which kind of sucks, especially when we have Tenacious Underdog and those type of effects to discard Underdog for free because we can always blitz it back. And they had to cut a lot of stuff to get the space for the Archfiend to draw us. And the reason this has kind of come back up in popularity so much is because the amount of go wide strategies there are, and this being such a big creature, and whenever their creatures die, they still lose more life. Now, obviously, there's a ticking time bomb on it in terms of the 4 counters, and every now and then you will lose to that counter. It sucks. Like, it's obviously awful, especially in the decks that gain a lot of life, because Archfiend's not going to be able to get there if they're at 36. It just doesn't work, but it can if you have the removal and things like that. So a lot of space has been cut to add this, and then like normally whenever we play, we're basically on 2 shoulders, set 3. And then when they're back on Glissa, which makes way more sense in like the best of 1 aggro meta, this card drawing cards and being just a beefy boy in that meta in terms of best of 3, because removal is not as abundant. People are a little bit more they're less all in, and they're a little bit more well rounded. So sometimes you can see that they don't like, I don't know, they don't have as many answers in game 1 as they will in game 2. Obviously, Glissa is going to be much easier to remove in games 2 and 3 if it gets to that point. But in best of 1, Glissa often finds itself getting removed immediately because people will have to play the removal for it. And so I generally prefer the other 3 drops over Glissa just in general. But outside of that, I mean, I think it performed well. I think there's a couple of things like in like the other versions of Golgari that I would prefer to play over this one. Did well in a qualifier, and a qualifier is a big MTGO event, so I wanted to give it a shot in best one. I have a screaming headache, so I'm going to call it, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you later in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.